Las Olas Boulevard is the premier nightlife strip in the city of Fort Lauderdale. There's a number of trendy restaurants and so forth that people can go to. And I figured it'd be a good time to capture some gang stalking. I'm going to cross the bridge and cross over. I have 16 minutes of recording time. But as I've demonstrated in previous videos, that's all the time I need to document gang stalking. Here's our first instance of synchronized space crowding. I get to a crosswalk and there's a vehicle coming at the exact same time. That is made as you can see, it happened a second time. And mind you, the space crowding happens in front of my path and immediately behind my path by motor vehicles. The point is to do nothing but obstruct my path and irritate me. That is what gang stalking is. It's a psychologically disruptive and physically harmful mechanism that a person is put in because of a nasty divorce they might have gone through, because of whistleblowing they may have participated in, because of conspiratorial or otherwise questionable website activity, for preaching conspiracy theories, for having an inheritance, which I was told in August of 2018 that I had, for being very vocal about a political cause, for making the wrong enemy, which is another aspect of gang stalking that I suspect includes me. And being a loner, which I've always been when you get right down to it. So there are other ways a person can get into gang stalking. For example, word of mouth from people that allegedly know you best, your family, etc. If people in your family go to the police or go to semi-law enforcement bodies, bounty hunters, bail bondsmen, private security firms, private investigators, etc., and say things like, he's scaring me, I'm scared of him, I think he's a threat to me, I think he's a threat to himself, I think he's a threat to my family, I think he's a threat to society, etc., etc. Here's another instance of synchronized space crowding. Again, these instances of synchronized space crowding happen around the targeted individual, quote unquote, coincidentally, all day, every day. It is not a coincidence. It's a derivation, and one that is certainly unwelcomed, regardless of who's doing it. As I've said in previous videos, if something happens to you so often that you can predict it, it is no longer a coincidence, but a derivation. Getting ready to pass the Broward County Judicial Complex. It's to my left. The Broward County Courthouse coming up to my right. It's right down Kathleen C. Wright Street. And Southeast 6th Street. It's right down that road there. What I'm going to do is, instead of going to Broward Boulevard, I'm going to go over here on Southeast 3rd and Kathleen Wright Street and have a seat. Because I have messed around here and got a cramp in my right hamstring. Nothing major, nothing severe, nothing worthy of concern. Just I can't go where I intended on going. I wanted to cross that bridge there, make a right, and go back the opposite way towards Broward Boulevard on the ground level. Okay, cramp gone. Let's go. I have 8 minutes of recording time left. I may not get to Broward Boulevard with that short amount of time, but you will still see an instance or 2 or 10 of gang-stalking activity, because as I've said in previous videos, it's nothing that takes a day off. Gang-stalking is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that includes federal holidays. 6 minutes of recording time left. Some synchronized activity to my right. Gang stalking is asymmetrical stalking. It's not always as cut and dry as, for example, the Michael Myers movies, Halloween, or the Jason Voorhees movies, Friday the 13th, where the killer comes at you personally, obviously, and in a straight line. You often see the heroes and heroines in those movies run through forests, run through parking lots, run down the street, run down everywhere, and the killer stays right on their trail, walking towards them in a straight line. Gang stalking is not like that. When a target moves, gang stalkers are dispatched north, south, east, and west, all with the intention of encompassing the target in some capacity at some point, like we see here. The second I get to the crosswalk leading to the bridge that I just crossed, there is somebody to meet me right there at the bottom. That is gang stalking activity. It's called synchronization, and it is perpetrated by an entity. And I've called out many of the entities that I suspect to be involved in gang stalking. I haven't talked as much about the Department of Homeland Security as I should. The Department of Homeland Security is like the Drug Enforcement Agency, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and the U.S. Marshals all rolled into one entity. And they have a hand in gang stalking activity, particularly in the issuing of names that are to be stalked. You see, somebody has to select the targets. I believe the Department of Homeland Security has a heavy hand in selecting targets and initiating the gang stalking practice against them. Now, as I said just now, gang stalking is asymmetrical. There are people coming at you from all directions in many different types of different ways. One of those ways is on foot, like we just saw. One of those ways is on bike. Many times you see them on skateboards, sometimes electric scooters like we saw today. Well, just a few minutes ago. Two minutes of recording time left. I'm not going to make it to Broward Boulevard. I'll go to this fountain up here and stop it there. New River Landing looks like a upscale hotel. And this is a bay here. Lots of small yachts and so forth. Beautiful fountain right ahead. "18 minutes of video. We got instances of gang-stalking, namely space crowding. Organized, synchronized space crowding.